Mark My Words Productions.
I'm too raw for TV. I'm too raw for TV. I'm too raw for TV. I'm the truth, so you gotta believe me. I'm too raw for TV.
If you hear my voice, you're part of the revolution. Welcome to 2RAW4TV, exclusively on blogtalkradio.com /2RAW4TV. Man, we got a great show tonight. We're going to be talking about the spirit molecule. And if you guys don't know what the spirit molecule is, that is also known as DMT, Dimethyltryptamine. Thousands of years ago, shamans used it to get into an altered state of mind, which was actually this reality, but a little bit different. And we're going to go into it. We got a great guest on the line. Award-winning poet Marc Marcel is going to be on the line. And if you have any questions, definitely call up at 323-410-0036. This is a topic that's been real hot recently because of Joe Rogan of Fear Factor. He's been talking about it a lot. We're going to be talking about it here. Now, dimethyltryptamine, also known as DMT, is a common compound composed of carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. It has been used for thousands of years, whereas rebirth, so to speak, recently and on the scene by shamans and medicine men and things of that nature. And even though it's a commonly occurring substance in most living things, including people and a lot of plants, it is actually a Schedule I drug in America. And it doesn't have any addiction, but it is classified as a Schedule I drug because supposedly it is the most highly hallucinogenic drug there is. Now, as I was saying, we have a great show for you guys. We have award-winning poet Marc Marcel, who's going to be talking a lot about this subject. Marc, you on the line?
Can you hear me?
Hey, what's going on, Marc?
Cool. How you been, man? How you been?
Man, I've been doing great. Now, what led you? Now we're talking about DMT. What led you to the substance? What led you to this experience known as DMT?
Wow. Well, that's kind of almost like a two answer, to that question. But one, which leads you to anything like this, is that you should be, more than likely you would be someone who questions. Someone who thinks more out the box, or just who wonders what's going on, with life in general. I learned when I was young, religion, obviously wasn't going to do it for me, because religion restricts you. It holds you back. It tells you if you're asking a question, you're wrong. You should. That's ridiculous. This world is so magnificently, creatively, so many just tried to twist and dimensions to it. How are you not going to question what's going on, So anyway, but really what led me to DMT, the substance, well, when I was about, when I was like 26, I had a natural experience where I met this young lady who I told her some things that had been going on in my life, and she opened up to me and she started talking to me about out-of-body experiences. And she had these books, and she was like, yeah, I need to share this with you. So, I read the books in a matter of 3 days. And I was trying to have an out-of-body experience, but in turn what I did is I channeled myself. It was the most exhilarating experience I've ever had. It was like it was an energy that looked like me exactly. I asked it, I was like, who are you? It was like, I am you. And I was like, my soul? And it said, you can call me that. It was like, and from there, it was like the most exhilarating experience. Nothing compares to it. And so that happened so long ago, I haven't been able to get back. I tried. It was funny because at the end of that, I actually, I was like, well, can I talk to you again? Can I see you again? You're like, I'm always with you. And, it wasn't so easy to get back. So, 7 years later, I bumped into Kimberly again. The young lady's name was Kimberly, who introduced me to the books. I was telling her, I was like, listen, I really want to remain in contact with you because, I'm trying to get into meditation, trying to get back to what's going on because I just felt like, things were just moving so fast in the world, and from that experience just opened me up to different vibrations. Like ever since then, like when I close my eyes, it's never really dark. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could just see things or whatever. But anyway, but I saw her at this spot, and then I told her, she was like, yeah, of course, we can remain close, And I was like, yeah, because, maybe it's something with your energy, I just want to, see if I can get back. And she was like, yeah, well, have you heard of this thing called DMT? And I was like, no, what's that? And she was like, yeah, it kind of like makes you go through astral projection and gets to that state of when you're having an out-of-body experience. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. She's like, it does it for you. And I was like, wow. And I was like, okay. So, I asked her where could she get it? And she was like, oh, just look on the internet. So she had never done it or didn't know where to get it, but she made it seem easier than what it was like made out to be. But anyway, I did my research. I did about 4 months worth of research with the substance, before I even experience with it. I believe anybody should do research before they do anything. You know what I'm saying? And everything. And everything that it said it was like offering, I felt like I was at that point, that stage in my life where I was ready for it. So it's almost, I guess I searched for it in a way without even knowing what I was searching for.
Really? I hear that. What was your first experience like? I mean, people say that they have spoken to beings, and a lot of different people that experience this have similar visions, which leads a lot of people to believe that is this an alternate reality that people are just tapping into, and this is the reason why it's so illegal. I mean, what was your first experience like? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, it's wild because, I've experienced with this probably close to 50 times now, but and they all are different, and they all are build up. It's wild. But the first experience I had was more like an introduction. I really didn't know how to intake the substance. So let's just say because I didn't have nobody that would really teach me what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I just went gun ho and was like, I need this, bam. And so I kind of like double. I put double the amount that I should, and then it kind of smacked me in my face, and I was gone. And it was an introduction, man. You remember it like a dream. Each experience is all, you remember like a dream. It fades away. So it's best for you to have people around so that you can talk to about your experience. But my first experience, I did it totally by myself. And it was more or less to show me that, like, hello, we're here, we're watching you, and it's so good to see you. And it was energy, more so. It was in the form of it were beings, and they were waving, and they didn't. When you can't really look straight at them, it's almost like you can look around. You know what I'm saying? You can see around with the form, the outline of it, and but with beings, and they were showing me so many things and devices that I couldn't possibly comprehend at the time, and even only a little bit now. With more times that I've gone under, I start to understand what's going on with that and this reality. But at the time, it was kind of like it was very calm. It wasn't intense at all. I wouldn't say it was more or less just like. To show me that you're awake, and we know you're awake, and we're watching you, and things are cool, and everything is fine, But that was the first trip, things, You do it more, you dive deeper down the rabbit hole, things will get extremely intense. That'll put you in check.
So would you say it was similar to maybe like the Matrix movies where you had Neo and he had his...
No, you go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, do you think that experience, was it similar to that as far as being in contact with this other world?
It is, and it's not, because that's the thing, man. This thing has so many different feelings to it that doesn't make sense when you think about it here, but when you cross, you understand the magnificence of it. But one, you're a part of it, right? But that world, it is almost like you are from the Matrix. You get plugged in, you get plugged into something. Except the Matrix makes it seem like you gotta plug in to something that isn't real. This is the opposite. You're plugging into something that is real. This is what really isn't real. This is what is really created. The physical has been, the physical has been created through, imagination and thought that came from, the world of answers, that realm. So it's kind of the opposite of the Matrix. While he could do all these kind of things in the Matrix, but he was plugging into a reality that wasn't real. This is different. You're plugged into the real thing.
Exactly. Call it 323-410-0036. And now, Mark, we're going to take some questions if you don't mind. 1743. Do you have a question?
All right. Well, my first question is, with the DMT, what does it stand for? The DMT, what is an acronym, correct?
It stands for Dimethyltryptamine. Yes, you are correct. It's an acronym.
And is it a really big conspiracy surrounding the drug? Is it a real big conspiracy surrounding it? Or did people know about it? Like how widespread is you know what I mean?
I wouldn't.
How wide does it go?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't really go as far as to say it's just a big conspiracy around it. But I mean, for some reason it is a Schedule I drug, which really, is, when I tell you it's one of the easiest come downs, and compared to any drug that you could probably take, it is. You're not like disoriented, for the rest of the day. It's a quick trip. It's like you just take a quick 3 to 10 minute nap, and then it's like you're meditating.
Like the 5-hour energy of drug taking, huh?
Yeah, no, it doesn't even last that long. If you drink ayahuasca, you could have a 5-hour experience, but that's drinking. But it's a lighter experience. It takes you up lightly, and it takes you there to the top. You may remember more, but when you inhale it and do it in a meditative state, and it smacks you in the face, and you cross immediately. You're time for it, and you're going, and it's not to clear something up. Some people think that they're talking to aliens, when they cross and stuff like that. I can see why people would think that if they've done it only a few times. But the more you do it, the more you realize that you're not talking to aliens. You may be talking to souls that have occupied alien bodies before, but you are crossing into a stage of the afterlife. It is the world of the answers. Like you are experienced with a higher realm of consciousness. It's not. And I can understand how people get it confused with aliens, but it's not aliens per se, like people have thought.
Thanks for calling, Young Prime. 3229. Do you have a question about DMT or